Indiana Fever played the Chicago Sky on Barbie night.
Caitlin Clark took over Chicago. She signed autographs for hours.
Signed over 200 autographs. Was out for a long period of time, signing for fan after fan.
What happened to Miss Angel Reese? What happened to that? Because it looked like Caitlin Clark went to Chicago and took the city over.
People are showing up just to witness Caitlin Clark. It's like she's the damn Beatles.
CC with MJ. CC get treated like MJ in the rack. This is the star power. Every city, every state, anywhere in the world that she goes, it's gonna look like pandemonium.
Prior to the appearance of Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese lived in Chicago.
Caitlin Clark, all the miles so she won't. She running Chicago, the queen of the rack.
Pack stands, chants, and autographs. For Caitlin only. She did not appear in court. She seized control of the city. If you're riding with Caitlin Clark the entire time, leave a remark.
Because it looked like Caitlin Clark went to Chicago and took the city over. It looked like she took the city over.
Barbie night had Chicago hopping, a crucial matchup between the Sky and the Fever.
I don't think you could have a more great role model than Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark unlocked millions for the WNBA.
However, the most significant event of the evening did not occur during the tip-off or warm-ups. It took place before the game even began. Fans flocked to the stadium hours in advance, not just to watch basketball, but also to get a peek of Caitlin Clark, who utterly hijacked the mood while Angel Reese was supposed to shine in front of her home crowd while sidelined and dressed in street clothes.
Indiana Fever played the Chicago Sky on Barbie night.
For her, the United Center was converted into a shrine. There were more Fever jerseys than Sky ones.
Was running down on Caitlin Clark like she was Michael Jordan.
Families, children, and grown men are all chasing autographs, holding signs, and standing in line. And Caitlin came through. She signed more than 200 autographs in more than 20 minutes.
At the United Center, she's signing a bunch of autographs for fans there gathered.
Moving across the arena row by row.
Clark, while she's got a break from the action, doesn't get a break from the autographs.
The fans standing there, she signed autographs for like 2-3 hours.
Even pundits were taken aback. No player was receiving this kind of response from the audience. In a uniform. Despite not recording a single minute, they were responding as though Caitlin Clark was the major attraction. This wasn't a publicity stunt or a fluke. This was true, natural affection. Not for Chicago, but for Caitlin, fans turned out in force. To take center stage, she didn't need to score a point.
Caitlin Clark spent 20 minutes signing autographs. She made her way 2/3 of the arena. She signed literally hundreds of autographs.
She signed autographs for hours. Real people trying to get autographs.
It goes beyond star power. That is the influence of culture.
People are showing up just to witness Caitlin Clark. It's like she's the damn Beatles.
And Caitlin Clark entered her city as Angel Reese was getting ready for her special night at home.
Caitlin Clark went to Chicago and took the city over.
Angel Reese has been aggressively promoting her story for months. Large headlines, previous Reebok campaigns, and a motto full of bravado. Arrive at your trap. Take control of your trap. It was supposed to be her time. Chicago served as her stage, her crowd, her trap, and her opportunity to establish herself as the league's face. Caitlin Clark, however, stepped right into that exact trap and took it over like a queen taking her kingdom. Thus, the tagline backfired in the worst manner conceivable on this particular night.
People didn't know whether or not Caitlin was playing that game until the very end. There are hundreds of fans that were there to see Caitlin Clark.
Angel wasn't invisible, let's face it. She wasn't the attraction, though. The magnet wasn't her. Caitlin was the center of attention. Angel was not being chanted for by the crowd. They were not forming a line to greet her. Reese jerseys were not on them. They were sprinting.
You know that every game is a home game thing. Though the Liberty and the Valkyries have something to say about that from what I've seen so far this year. But you see,
genuinely sprinting to be in the same building as Caitlin Clark. Fans are treating Clark as though she were a cross between Chief Keef, Derrick Rose, and Michael Jordan.
Reebok campaign, come to your trap, take over your trap. What happened to that?
It's not hype on social media. That is the influence in the actual world. As if she were the basketball equivalent of the Pied Piper, one video showed fans swarming down the aisles to gain her attention.
We talked about the other day in New York, but you just have to appreciate about Caitlin Clark in these games. She knows a huge portion of these fans were hoping to see her play, and obviously they're not getting to. But she goes out of her way to make sure pregame she's signing autograph after autograph. We talked about the other day in New York when it was 108 autographs that she signed.
Meanwhile, because Caitlin did it for real, Angel's meticulously planned campaign, complete with eye-catching videos, Instagram commentary, and takeover branding, started to appear phony. Just presents are required, no cameras or filters. The following blow then arrived. A well-known figure in sports and entertainment, Ice Cube, stated unequivocally that Angel Reese was not worthy of the $5 million that Caitlin Clark had previously been offered.
Does this count as taking over a trap? It's when you walk into your trap and take over.
According to his exact comments, Caitlin Clark helped the WNBA get millions of dollars. We were unaware of that regarding Angel Reese.
Does this qualify as taking over a trap, considering this is Chicago and not Indianapolis?
That is cruel. It is sincere, not because it is cruel. Yes, indeed. Who speaks the loudest is not the point of this. It all comes down to who produces outcomes.
Caitlin Clark getting treated like Derrick Rose, Michael Jordan, Chief Keef, Lil Durk, all of them.
Additionally, Caitlin Clark is currently changing society, fans, and numbers. Caitlin has done nothing except remain composed, stay focused, and keep improving, while Angel is still attempting to create a rivalry at every opportunity. Additionally, the fans have picked after noticing. Actually, a large number of them have given up on the Angel hype train entirely. Because Caitlin gave them something genuine, not out of animosity.
Happened to Miss Angel Reese. She's all in Indiana during All-Star, and her Reebok campaign, come to your trap, take over your trap. What happened to that? Because it looked like Caitlin Clark went to Chicago and took the city over.
Signed over 200 autographs. Wow. Was out for a long period of time, signing for fan after fan. So trying to make sure, that she still is accessible to the fans here and helps create memories for so many of them. Here was Caitlin continuing to sign.
The Indiana Fever played the Chicago Sky on Barbie night. People are showing up just to witness Caitlin Clark. It's like she's the damn Beatles. It is like she is the damn Beatles.
The fact that Caitlin didn't even reply is even more telling. No tweets, no shade. She allowed Angel's marketing staff to be heard over her quiet. To launch a catchy tagline is one thing. Being hurt on the bench while the entire city is yelling your name is something else entirely. Angel commanded, "Come to your trap. Occupy your trap." However, it was Caitlin Clark who entered Chicago, her alleged trap, and took the crown with a single signing pen.
And then we got Ice Cube bombing on Angel Reese, talking about, man, she's not worth the money that Caitlin Clark was worth.
About how coming into this game, you guys had to be more physical, a little bit more hungry.
Because what we're seeing with Caitlin Clark is more than simply a viral moment. There is a movement that has been subtly developing for several months, which explains why admirers are choose her over Angel Reese. Let's begin with the most often forgotten fact. Despite her inability to dress, Caitlin Clark turns up. She had the option to remain in the rear. She could have let the attention go by sitting quietly on the bench. Rather, she signed autographs for more than 200 fans for more than 20 minutes.
Cube had to say about the Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark thing and why he would not offer the money to Angel Reese. With Caitlin Clark, it was just to unlock millions of dollars for the league. They didn't tell us the same thing about Angel Reese, so I don't know if we can make that same offer.
Many of them were unaware that she would be present. It was not staged. It lacked sponsorship. It was just a single woman spending time and energy with those who most admire her. It is the type of thing that people remember. That kind of behavior fosters loyalty in addition to notoriety.
She's not worth 5M, sorry. Caitlin Clark is.
Angel Reese was still trapped trying to prove something, slinging shade, linking herself to every Clark headline, and promoting a rivalry that seemed more desperate with each post, while Caitlyn was bringing joy to the children and families in the crowd. Fans of the truth are able to sense that energy. They are able to distinguish between forced and genuine things. Caitlyn is not required to return the applause. She is not required to brag on Instagram. She doesn't need to emphasize her worth to others. Her presence says 1,000 words.
Men lie, women lie, the numbers don't.
She doesn't speak negatively. She doesn't plead for notice. Despite being in her rookie season, she earns it with professionalism, poise, and a unique emotional intelligence.
Is the star power. Every city, every state, anywhere in the world that she goes, it's gonna look like Panda.
Families bring their children to see her for this reason. This explains why Caitlyn's jerseys and signs, rather than those of the home club, fill entire venues. Her brilliance isn't the only factor. It has to do with her mannerisms. Despite her injury, she continues to perform well off the court.
We have officially come to your trap and taken over your trap.
It's her city taking over the trap. And I just saw this post, actually, Brick Center. Caitlin Clark took over Angel Reese's trap.
That's leadership. That's maturity. That's what real stars are for.
So, I mean, I think it's hard not to when you don't get a lot of rest and recovery. No, I always think the WNBA season is like this sprint marathon. And you see more injuries when you don't have a chance to recover. But it's not like, individual teams are the only ones that deal with it. This is a league-wide collective issue. So, and I also think, you see the NBA, for example, has a similar cadence, but they've got 30 teams, and they're not quite as much crisscrossing time zones, crisscrossing the country. So it's the challenge of the footprint of our schedule, no doubt.
The league is also feeling it. The sponsors are in agreement. TV viewership is rising. Sales are booming. Before she lands, cities she has never even performed in are humming.
Signed over 200 autographs. Was out for a long period of time, signing for fan after fan. So trying to make sure, that she still is accessible to the fans here and helps create memories for so many of them. Here was Caitlyn continuing to sign.
Caitlyn, you all were able to turn up the defensive intensity in this quarter, get some key.
Let's now discuss Angel Reese a moment. She's gifted. She has marketability. She has a bright future in the league. But she became more fixated on being like Caitlyn than on developing as a person. Additionally, that fixation is beginning to backfire. Additionally, you can attach without turning.
I think you can have a more great role model than Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin Clark unlocked millions for the WNBA.
You wind up catching up to a story you didn't write when you present yourself as someone else's rival all the time, and the fans never really see it that way. Angel is now in that location. Additionally, the fans are leaving. It's not that Angel is bad. Rather, it's that Caitlyn is amazing and doesn't need to destroy anyone to prove it.
You are a star in your own right, but you are not Caitlin Clark. It's a difference.
Caitlyn is taking her rehabilitation slowly day by day, according to ESPN insiders, because she only wishes to return when she is prepared to take the lead once more. In her absence, the Fever are getting better. She is not in a haste to take center stage. She's holding off until she can genuinely improve the team once more.
Understands the responsibility of being the face of the league.
Ego isn't that. That's sagacity. And Caitlyn is unique because of that. The substance, not simply the swagger, the stats, or the shots. People have had enough of drama. Fed up with imposed rivalry. They are looking for a real, humble, and consistent candidate to support. Caitlin Clark is that person. And for that reason, Chicago and the WNBA community as a whole support her. Not today, not for a single game, but in the long term.
Caitlin Clark adding a little carpal tunnel to her groin issue.
To dominate, Caitlin Clark didn't require a jersey. She won the night without even holding a ball. The entire city of Chicago followed her simply by showing up. Angel Reese's moment was expected to arrive, but people quickly made their decision. They backed the actual star and shunned the hype. The court wasn't simply overrun by Caitlin Clark. The culture was dominated by her.
I don't think you can have a more great role model than Caitlin Clark.
The buzz has evolved beyond mere chatter. It exists, is quantifiable, and is expanding. People love Caitlin Clark in general. Clark has solidified her position as the WNBA's most well-known player. The most well-known person in the WNBA is Caitlin. Caitlin Clark plans to continue playing for 10 years. This is the worst she will ever be, and you have 10 years of it. Thus, in my opinion, they possess all or the most of the leverage. Angel Reese lived in Chicago until Angel Reese's home city was Chicago until Angel Reese lived in Chicago until